Red Voyage News splashing the check-in. Thank you for tuning in. I have an article right here brought to you by RollingStone.com. Fight breaks out during Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia's Verzuz battle. Wasn't necessarily a fight. It was just an altercation. And I'm going there in this video. It was a clear case of a light-skinned cat. I'm trying not to curse. This is a clear case of a light-skinned cat taking things way too far, way too seriously, getting too deep in his emotions, overthinking things, and lashing out, then apologizing 2 minutes later, fake apologizing, and not really taking full accountability for what you just did. And it's like you try to throw the mic at a woman, all right? And you know, the Me Too movement, they're not going to come out, say anything and speak up on behalf of Gangsta Boo, you know, because it's like, it's a black woman. It's a black woman. And you knew that. You know, if you'd have thrown that mic at a white woman, it'd have been totally different. So, you know, okay, it's a black woman. I'll throw the mic at her. You missed, but you threw the mic at Gangsta Boo. All right. At first, I thought he was trying to throw the mic at Juicy J. It went past Juicy J and it went towards Gangsta Boo and she dodged it. All right. He missed. You know, and that was very telling because Busy Bone doesn't have a black wife. Busy Bone has like, I think his wife is like Latino or white or something like that. All right. Busy Bone, he's mixed himself. All right. So I always, you know, you could clearly tell that Busy Bone, he's the diva of the group. Over the years, he's always been in and out of the group, in and out, in and out, in and out. And you like Bone Thugs, they're not the type of group where they're strong together. And then when they branch out and do their solo thing, that they've had a tremendous amount of success doing, you know, going the solo route. No, they need each other. And when I mean they need each other, it's like they need each other as far as performing the hits, performing the classics. Putting out new music hasn't worked for them. All right. Whereas like 3-6, you have two members of that camp where they made big strides when it came to doing things in their solo career. Juicy J and Project Pat. Don't get it twisted. Like, I really like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I really like Bone Thugs and Harmony. But see, the thing about that battle was that it was just two different styles of music that was on stage last night. You had one that was crunk and one that was harmony. They were harmonizing. Don't get it twisted. Everybody today that's singing, rapping, they come from the Bone Thugs and Harmony tree. All right. Don't get it twisted. But see, it's two different styles of music. Like, yes, they're harmonizing, they're singing, rapping, but they're more so concerned about spitting. Whereas like 3-6, they were ahead of their time. Like, they got that bounce, that crunk bounce in their record. And all their music, they use the same kicks, the same snares. The formula works in all their music. So I wouldn't say up until that moment last night that Bone Thugs was losing. I don't want to say they was losing. It was just two different styles on stage. But you can see that, you know, if you look at the reactions, like people were reacting more towards, they would get more hype when 3-6 would perform their records. All right. They were throwing shots at each other. As you should. All verses, they throw shots at each other. They were throwing shots at each other leading up to this battle and during the battle, as you've seen in all the verses battle, or most of the verses battles. Busy Bone threw shots. He's like, yeah, you know, on December, whoop-de-woo, we're going to perform against 3-6 Mafia, them devil worshiping mother. He even talked about it in his live after the battle. He said that, yeah, you know, when I made that video, it was the mean version, and then Triller and so, they called me and said, hey, you know, we don't know about that. They were getting nervous. Can you make a cleaner version? So then he made a cleaner version, but he was throwing shots. And I know 3-6, they weren't really tripping on that. It's just like, hey, we're going to do the same thing. But in clear light-skin fashion, you were taking it way too serious. And I saw after the Verzuz battle when he got on live. When you listen to him talk about what was going through his mind leading up to the battle and during that moment, you'd have thought this man was strapped up and went to war in Afghanistan, Pakistan, any country with the last suffix "stan" in it. You thought he was strapped up, ready to go to war. And nobody's tripping. Like, it's just like, hey man, we celebrating both of our catalogs. Then when he did that, it's like, man, why y'all do this? Somebody said, why y'all do this, man? For what? Why y'all do it? For what? Now I wanna take this. I'm gonna put this in slow motion. Hold on. All right, so you know what's funny? He said, man, you ugly mother. That's what a lot of light-skinned cats do. Is like, hey man, I'm light-skinned, I'm pretty, you ugly. So you ugly mother, y'all ain't gonna mock me on stage, straight the F up. And then Juicy J is like, man, we not trying to hear that. Like, man, suck my D. He said that twice to him. So then in his mind, he's like, man, those are fighting words. You know, nobody's really taking it serious. It's like, hey, it is what it is. Like, man, suck my D. So then he gets in his feelings. And then the last thing he says was, and gangsta boo. And guess what he did? Took the mic, threw it, dodged. She dodged, right? You threw the mic at a woman. You try to throw the mic at a woman. Look at that. Look at that. You try to attack a woman, but you threw the softest thing you had in your hand, the water bottle, the half-drunk water bottle at Juicy J. So Juicy J, he steps over, and then, you know, Lazy Bone, he's like, nah, let's not do that. So Juicy J, so, you know, 3-6, the whole hypnotized camp, they raise up. They're ready to go. But Juicy J, he throws this lazy right. He throws this lazy right. You know, it's like, okay. So this man, he falls over, rushes them. Somebody on my Twitter said that security pulled Busy Bone. Didn't nobody pull Busy Bone. That man started in the front and then ended up in the back. Started in the front. He threw a lazy left. I swear, these rappers they ain't got no hands, man. You started in the front. You ended up in the back. All right. You ended up in the back. And you started it. All right. So I just wanted to show that. Then he said, right after that, you know, they took a break. They came back, and then Lazy Bone said, hey, man, we're not going to let the devil ruin our night. Something like that. He said something, we're not going to let the devil ruin our night. And I commend Lazy Bone because he did his thing last night. Lazy Bone did his thing. Crunchy Black really did his thing. MJG really did his thing last night also. I think that was the best part when MJG got on stage. But Lazy Bone, he did a really good job last night, but he also said, hey, you know, we're not going to let the devil mess things up for, you know, and when he said that, you can tell, like, okay, we've seen this plenty of times over and over and over again from Busy before in the past. It's like, hey, whatever. He's doing it again. You wait till this moment right here to do this. It's like, hey, man, we're not going to let the devil ruin our night. So he knows. Busy gets back on stage and he's like, hey, man, I want to apologize, y'all, on both sides. Like, no, it was you. My bad. I don't want to ruin any, you know, y'all's night or anybody's night. You know, my bad. Typical light-skinned cat fashion, man. I've seen it in my own household plenty of times. When something big happens, you don't really react too tough to it. But it's the little things and nobody's really trying to poke at you like that. It's just like, hey, it's just, we battling. You know, it's a battle. And you take it way too far. You ain't got no hands. You started something. You ended up in the front, and then you ended up in the back. Like, and I don't like, you know, you threw the mic at Gangsta Boo, you know, and knowing that, and you know that the Me Too movement, they're not going to say nothing because it's a black woman. They're really not going to say nothing. Women, you see some women on Twitter, they're saying things here and there. And like, I got to point it out, Busy Bone, he don't have a black wife. You know, he doesn't have a black wife. All right. So I just want to make that point. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.